Hello viewers and welcome to another episode of Lancer Custom Works, where I will be discussing the various mech builds you could make and play with Lancer. In today's Encore edition episode where we pay attentions to some of the older frames we have revealed before, Horus, Part 1, featuring Balor, Goblin, Gorgon, and Hydra, so let's get started with the one-eyed king first. Balor, the only thing in Lancer that can say that's need to repair and never touch it again, all thanks to its traits, regeneration, and self-perpetuating, which can get even more crazy when its core power is active. Balor is also an extremely menacing frame up close with Scouring Swarm, as well as many of its systems that might as well turn the Balor into an elephant foot. However, it's also very slow, though this can be mitigated by Pancrathy, Prospector, Skirmisher, and Ace to a degree, and also keep Balor away from any open flame. Most pilots will panic on the mere sight of it. Unsurprisingly, House Guard is very helpful for the frame. It is a defender after all, but surprisingly, not by much, as a Balor build can probably throw around soft cover like it's nothing already, though having hard cover on the go is pretty nice. Anyway, let's start it off already with Fear Not the Blade, a half-white witch Balor because a frame that regenerates itself and a frame that gets all the overshield is unsurprisingly a perfect match. They also immobilizes everyone, Ferro lance to pin people down, Camus Razor and Sympathetic Shield to take all the hits, and Scanner Swarm Neurospike to give a statement I suppose. Don't forget, there's also Heavy Gunner Nanocomp Retort Loop to ensure that you will always be the last word in any argument. It is not even the only White Witch Balor around. This is Lumbering Beast of Nails, a Balor with a Superstacked Nanocomp Retort Loop. Everything comes back to this beast of a weapon, with Argonaut Shield, Camus Razor, and Sympathetic Shield to ensure all the damage to your allies will come your way no matter what. A full House Guard talent also ensure an enemy will get knocked down every turn no matter what, which is good because this thing only has speed 3 and Prospector. Big Burly Bear Hugs is a Balor that decided to learn Kung Fu. Speed 4 plus Pancrathy and Prospector gives this Balor an adequate amount of mobility, enough to actually get close to people to send them to next week, and if your foes want to run away, DSAS 3 to knock them all down like a bowling ball. Grub Hub Express Medical Bunker is a burst jet ace Balor that can fly through the sky quickly and give any allies a quick checkup via Stabilize with RSU, or Brace with Emergency Repair Module because if you not gonna use your repair, spend it on your allies instead, and when in doubt, shield your allies with your body with House Guard, and also shoot everyone with a Nanocomp DSAS. Stormy Weather is a near constantly flying Balor that decides to take it slow and fire Nanocomp Pinaka missiles everywhere, ensuring the enemies will not have a good time, with Tactician 2 for more accuracy above enemies, and Black Thumb Technophile combo to constantly cool off your mech. You will fly above your foes almost all the time as a near indestructible symbol of oppression. Balorquest is a Balor with Tempest charged blade, because of course there's gonna be one. A Balor with a big sword is not the surprise here. The real surprise is that this thing has 34 goddamn health, meaning this Balor can regenerate 9 health every turn, and that's before Hyperdense armor coming into place, and if you are ever close to being structure, you have 1 charge of ERM, that can be replenished with Grease Monkey. It's tanky to an almost ridiculous degree for sure. And lastly, I Reincarnated into a Blender, is a Balor that figures out that why move to blend people when you can teleport them to you with Warp Rifle or Blink charges, with Forge Clamp to ensure you can't be moved so the swarm body always stays at a painful 9 damage, just run up with Pancrathy and then sit down and blend everything into juice. The Immortal, the Invincible, the Undyne, Balor is a frame that just cannot die by constantly getting its tax relief back, and one can easily use that as an advantage to shield allies with. I guess the only thing you need to worry about is remembering to apply regeneration trait each turn. Next up, Goblin, the hacker frame, hacker frame. It's an incredibly annoying frame that can hack really well, cannot be hacked back, and it has one of the strangest core power in Lancer that I won't blame people for not figuring how or when do you use it. The hacker talent is unsurprisingly really good for it. Same with rank 1 of Nuclear Cavalier to turn up the heat of your tech attack, but only if you are going for heat gunning build. Unfortunately, it being a tiny frame that's really good at hacking means that it's rather fragile and does not have a lot of firepower. Naturally, a lot of players want to prove everyone wrong about that. So, let's start things off with Shitpost Jedi, a Goblin that can explode. With Explosive Vent, a suggested move is to run into someone and then stabilize to immediately explode, followed by overcharging to use Horus 1 to make people move, thus causing a overwatch with Super Thermal Blade, dealing up to 8 heat total in a combo, enough to cook most things alive. That is of course, just one trick this Goblin can do, with Duelist and Horus 2 to provide defense this frontliner Goblin desperately needs. Next is Fuck It We Ball, a goblin that abandons any sense of hacking and pack 28 health with a combat drill instead back in my day. Followed by 4 goddamn charged stakes to stake things to the ground, which by the way needs a full action to be used, so I'm not even sure how are you gonna use all of them in a fight, but you are certainly not lacking in it. Shoulder Turret is exactly what it said, a crackshot goblin built around a cyclone pulse rifle that can snipe people just fine with core siphon, auto-loader drone, and siege stab, that can also activate its core power and then become a gun on another mech. See, not everyone need to be Pinaka to have 2 super heavy, add in spotter and house guard, and your allies will love you very much. The Emperor's new groove is a half-emperor goblin instead, taking big advantage of all these emperor systems that are dependent on sensor range for range instead, and goblin has 20 goddamn range. Not only that, this goblin has a cyclone pulse rifle and an engineer rifle, truly, a crazy amount of firepower and support capability packed in one tiny frame. 49 subalterns in a trench coat is a Legion Nexus goblin, because having 20 sensor range makes Legion Nexus pretty damn busted. That's not even including the fact that goblin is already annoying as hell with Horus systems for even more control and defense, with utility drone to make enemies fail more checks and saves, ERM to save your butt because with 13 HP you will need it, and GM to give you more charges in general. Also this build will look completely stupid no matter what. How does all these even fit in? Next there's Tactical Breach Goblin, a goblin with a Tempest charged blade because of course, at this point you are probably wondering is there anything special about this Tempest CV build because you probably have seen enough of it for a lifetime already. Easy, this goblin has Beckoner which means it can swap with any unit within 20 spaces and then chop someone's face off. There is in fact an advantage for a size half unit with a big goddamn sword. Lastly, there's Lancer Funny Moments compilation, a goblin that's just a walking artillery missile pack that can attach itself to people and make anyone practically invincible to tech attack. Just fire Pinaka at delayed mode and when the missile is about to land, puppet systems or beckon people to the blast zone. If you want to be extremely annoying and make your GM question their life decision, Goblin is definitely a prime choice to go for among all other choices, but I'm pretty sure you all know this by now and just want to see what new chaos the Goblin has brought. Next up, Gorgon, the one frame that sleeps on its turn and then does everything on everyone else's turns, mostly thanks to its gaze traits, and being a defender. It's really nice that it's quite difficult to be shot at because it's straight up an eye cancer to look at, and it can get worse. Anything that gives Gorgon more reaction is worth more than gold here, talents or systems or otherwise, like SysOp, Orator, Prospector, and Field Analyst, a Gorgon can use them twice as better than any other frame. Also you gonna see like an absolutely ridiculous amount of Vorpal guns here, it's super useful for the Gorgon. Let's start things off with Slap the Roof, get slapped back. This baby has so many reactions in it. First, use Pancrathy and Croil Rifle to get in the fray. If that's not enough, Mimic Mesh will do, and anytime you cut something or get cut, you can activate Jaeger-Kust 2 to duel. Storm Stance Terashima also provides even more reaction, which can charge up Blade Master dice for more reaction with Duelist 2, and whenever your allies start shooting, you have Field Analyst 1 to back them up. In short, you can always react. Party Wagon is a Fomorian Battle Taxi Gorgon, which means your allies will almost always be close enough for you for things like Vorpal Gun, Scylla, Monitor, and Scorpion to work, giving them all the protection and providing you with all the dead enemies. Never attacking on your own turn means Orator dice can get charged up for hefty bonus. And also, you have an auto stab Black Spot, that can potentially shoot up to 5 times off turn to lock onto everyone. With Walking Armory for more spices, it's gonna hurt. Through the Looking Glass is a Sisyphus Gorgon, with an addition of Field Analyst so you know what everyone's dice is at all time, so you can use Field Analyst to add or subtract to it, or just Sisyphus them. Since you are never firing on your turn again, even the auto gunfire at the end of the turn, Orator is once again crowned as the support king here. Eye of Horus is also here to see through hidden enemies, but you can't share this data with allies so it's up to you to shoot them up. This is No Tortuga, boy, No Tortuga is a Gorgon with no Vorpal gun but instead packs 2 DSAS with Vanguard so that's gonna hurt like hell, on and off turn, with combined arms for more accuracy when you add charged blade cuts into the mix, add in House Guard, Hyperdense armor, and Argonaut shield. This Gorgon can tank for itself and its allies like nothing else. Petrify the World is a slag maxing Gorgon with of course, slag cannon, except now with monitor module so you can shoot so many blocks around like nothing else, with Siege Specialist for even more collateral damage, and then you explode them with Seismic Ripper, plus you still got everything else that makes Gorgon Gorgon. dual Vorpal, Mimic Mesh, and House Guard I suppose, so things will work fine even when slag maxing didn't work. T-pose to assert dominance, is an iconoclast Gorgon, because when you got Scylla, you might as well add in all other NHP too. Besides, Gorgon also has one of the highest save target in the game, making enemies failing save is real easy, so just support your allies with all the NHP, and you will shoot death laser either on or off your turn. And lastly, there's Giant Sword Woman, because here's the thing about Gorgon and metastatic paralysis, it won't work when the GM is too afraid of hitting you, so, easiest solution to this is to become a big enough threat that the GM will shoot you or everyone is dead. Activating Seekomet is the first step, but you also have Titanomachy Duelist Siege Ram combo to ram and grapple the hell out of everything, and if this isn't enough melee attack in a single turn, nothing will be enough. Gorgon, the first of the offensive defender, before Inkiju, before Laken, and it is really scary, especially for GM because anytime anyone do anything the Gorgon is gonna put a stop to it like it's Ace Attorney. Welcome to Reaction Hell. And last for this episode, Hydra. Did I say Gorgon is good at inflicting hell? I was wrong, Hydra was even worse at it, thanks to all the drone maxing, as Hydra is really all about drones, making them tougher, or just have more. You might as well learn how to play a real-time strategy game, but knowing Hydra, it will turn into a turn-based strategy no matter what. Unsurprisingly, Drone Commander is king. If you are playing Hydra without it, what are you doing? It's support, offensive, and defensive package all in one go. It's stupidly useful. Anyway, let's start things off with my drones would kill you Traveler, you can't handle my drones, a Legion Nexus Hydra which is probably the most unsurprising Hydra build idea present here. It is a drone after all, that doesn't mean it's not good, especially with the sheer amount of control the Hydra can output, and utility drone around to make things worse for the enemies. Also, Drone Commander 2 triggers off any attack with lock on, this include tech attack with Horus 1. High Voltage Pinball is a Hydra with arc projector and plans to maximize its capability by also just chain lightning its drones too, which is good because Tempest has resistance to all things and is also made tougher by Hydra's trait. Add in Drone Commander, and anything within your drone is gonna be. Serpent's Constellation Beast is a Hydra with a stabilized Hurricane Cluster projector and a prototype weapon to kill enemies more than it kills the GM with far less drones than most Hydra builds. With range 20 and a wide AoE, you can definitely destroy a lot of enemies in a single shot with this thing, and when things get too close, you have your minions to protect you. We have a mole problem, is a Hydra with Prospector to pop out of the ground behind enemy to stab them with your big stick, and then deploy Gas Nexus to suppress them from another side with Heavy Gunner, leaving no cover for your enemies as you slaughter them with your sticks or your drones. Pretty dangerous. Into the Breach is a gravity gun armed Hydra that can throw more involuntary movement than anything else. Gravity gun, Blink Charges, Mesmer Charges, Repulsor Field, and Tempest Drone. You can force the enemies to move practically wherever you want and there's nothing they can do about it. Demolitionist and Open Door here also makes Blink and Mesmer Charges far more dangerous, and who care enemies are invisible when you can explode their everything. Gundam Aerial is a Hydra with unsurprisingly all the Nexus for all the Senti main pain, specifically, Gas Nexus to shoot enemies from a new angle, and Bolt Nexus for extremely accurate shots from afar. Reliable 4 is no joke with 2 of them around, with dual Tempest to turn enemies into pinball, and Dominion for more pain. It's just a whole lot of damage, and hurt. And finally, there's Cast Them into the Den of Snakes, Let Us Devour Them, a half-Emperor Hydra, because Emperor systems can throw in plenty of control AoE too, with Aya of Syzygy and Assassin Drone to make a kill zone, which can trigger every goddamn turn, followed by Tempest to push enemies in. The damage is small, but it will quickly add up, so just fly up, throw lock on around with held image, and let your drones do all the work. The amount of control a Hydra build can output is quite insane, potentially at the cost of having everyone wait for you to do things, so you better think fast, but really, when it comes to drone, Hydra is really second to none. And that's about it for this round of Lancer Custom Works Encore. Once again, I would like to thank all of my viewers who have submitted their builds for this episode. Next up, it's the second round for IPSN, featuring Raleigh, Tortuga, and Vlad. Yes, just 3, you can check out the submission rule down below. That's all for now, and I will see you all next time. Hello there, if you like this video, please subscribe and click that notification bell button. If you want to see the videos early as well as further support my channel, you can join in my Patreon page, or buy me some coffee, links in the description. Anyway, have a nice day.